What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of The Breakdown with Biodun. My guest today is Jem, as you may know him. He's also at Gem High on Instagram. I will let him introduce himself.
I don't want to
I,
introduce myself. I don't want to introduce myself. I'm
what
angry.
is the problem, Jem?
I'm
What's
angry.
going on?
I'm livid. I am emotionally perturbed. I am
Okay.
you don't need to ask me why. Nobody in the chat or you don't ask me why I'm angry. But let's move on with you.
Okay,
But I just want
guys,
everybody
please,
to
if
know that
you're
I'm angry.
watching, just get in the comments. Let's start asking him why, Jem. Why you angry?
Don't
Start
ask me.
bombarding him
If you ask me
with
why, it will
comments.
even make me more angry again.
Ask
It will make me
him
angrier.
why. Let's see what will happen today.
Nobody needs to ask.
So if you're watching, don't forget to like. If you haven't subscribed, why? The question is why. Anyway, today is going to be fast paced. We're going to talk about just a few topics, not our usual drawn out episode, but we're still going to have fun. You know how we do it here. If you have any comments, you have any thoughts, any opinions, let us know in the comments. Light up the comments. Feel free to light up the comments. So, Jem, is there anything you want us to know before we move forward?
No.
Hey, FYI, your hair is green.
My hair is growing.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say that my hair is
Your hair,
growing? You
your
just say
hair is
that
green.
my hair is growing. Don't ask me why.
Your hair is green.
It's okay. Don't ask me why. It's all
What are
right.
you using? Is it a special shampoo?
The shampoo that I'm using is the Lord shampoo. The Lord is my barber.
The
The
Lord
Lord
is
is
your
my
shampoo.
shampooer.
Okay,
But
Jesus
thank
is
God,
your shampoo.
at least I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. But I'm
Jesus
still
is your
angry.
shampoo. No
Jesus is
problem.
my
No
shampoo.
problem. Okay, so we're getting into our first topic of the day. And of course, what is trending most right now? The Olympics. Right. So the Olympics, I won't lie, the Olympics, right? They needed PR. It was supposed to be Tokyo 2020, ended up being 2021. And of course, they would have needed to do some PR, but the whole Shakari situation stole that from them. And, it just made, and then we kept getting news flash after news flash of people who had been banned, people who would not be going. It got to a point that I was like, who's going for this Olympics? Honest. But then, of course, there's some people that of course, competing. America, of course, is competing. We've been hearing about what's going on with Russia and the whole, the whole ban shenanigans and all of that. But today, of course, we're talking about just we're going to talk about Simone. But before we even talk about Simone, I was telling Jem that when I was younger, the Olympics was a big deal and everyone would watch the opening ceremony, would watch the closing ceremony, would watch the what was it called? Fireworks, the
The
arrangement. They would do all the
touch
synchronized.
lightning and things like that.
Yes, and then they would arrange themselves, and we loved to watch all those things. I would try to also copy them in our schools. Um, was it at one of them that Shakira sang her song? I can't remember. Well, I just know, that it was a big deal. But now it doesn't seem like such a big deal anymore. Why do you think that is? That is.
First of all, this is one of the reasons why I'm angry. It's about the
Right.
Olympics. Everything in this life, the bird that fly in the sky, the ants that walk in the sand, the earthworm that dig into the hole of the floor, is all
Mm-hmm.
about the Olympics if you really think about it. And it all
Okay.
sums up to the fact that this life is not balanced. Like you said, there's so many different sports and activities in the Olympics, right? And get this right, someone that the Olympic thing is fishing, or I don't know, the Olympic thing is catching a ball or throwing shot put or whatever. Which good for you if that's what you do. That's fine. That's your talent. That's your anointing.
Mhm.
Who am I? But then that person that throws shot put or does whatever, and the person that runs or play basketball and they almost die on the line, they get the same gold medal.
But let's be fair though. I no, I see where you're coming from, but Well, I think we're being unfair because we don't know what goes into certain sports.
First of all,
So
it's my
you're
hair. Now
running.
is that I'm being unfair.
So
Don't have me now.
if you're running, right, it looks like you're exerting so much energy, and you are exerting energy. It's true. Like we see runners going and the veins and the speed, and we know that this isn't for normal people, right? But whoever the person throwing the javelin to is exerting energy as well, and it's more precise. Like you have to hit a mark. Those doing archery, if you don't hit a certain mark, how many times you're out. I see where you're coming from, but what is that?
This is a
Is that your
pen. It's a
javelin?
marker. It's my
Okay,
javelin. Wash.
don't throw it.
I throw it. It land. Javelin. I
Where
go
did
the
where
Olympics.
did it land? Is the
It
issue? Where did your
it,
javelin
it
land?
land in the back.
Can you tell? No, it
It
doesn't work
land
that way.
it land in the back. That's just
It
the way
does.
it is.
It doesn't work that way. That
But
one
really
doesn't
though,
work.
the reason why people have lost interest in the Olympics, let me tell you right now,
Okay.
is scheduling conflict. And the thing is because of BBB Niger. It's because of Big Brother. That's why people are not watching the Olympics this year.
But
So
people here are not watching BB Niger now.
they are
People
well,
here.
everybody is watching. It didn't say it's not yet that saying Big Brother is always watching
Oh,
you. So as Big Brother is
oh,
watching,
okay.
then the Olympics is watching too, and that's very concerning too.
Okay,
I
okay,
really think
okay,
it's
but
just because like there's just so much stuff going on in the world, and I mean it's
the
nice and
internet
all
is
to
competing. The
true
internet is
the internet is
competing.
competing with. Did you know that the number of moviegoers has dropped down significantly? Like in terms of all the movies that have been released. I mean the movies are
After
not
the
as
pandemic,
after the pandemic. I mean, the movies are not as good as they were. I get it because, like, there's been scheduling conflicts with movies and things like that. But even big blockbuster movies are not making it up to like what regular movies would make in the past. It's because like
mm,
there's so much content everywhere on streaming. There's content on your
yeah,
phone. You can literally get almost, and people are also kind of used to not having that experience at this point.
mm,
So all
yeah,
those things are kind of communicating to each other. I mean, it didn't happen in one day that people lost interest in the Olympic. I think it's built up kind of over time, and yeah. But maybe the people that are watching it are still watching it.
I think people who are like anyone who's like in a sports on a sports team, maybe in college or something, or a kid that wants to be that is interested in some kind of sport, they would probably watch. Like I watch all the fights, but I would watch maybe judo or something, but I would probably not watch. I wouldn't watch
Okay.
anything tennis. And I used to like to watch those matches, but these
Oh.
days, and then YouTube, because you can just go on YouTube and watch
YouTube and
highlights.
everything. True, true, true. I mean, I was. I'm not. I've never been really into sports. I'm not into sports. I'm not a sports
Any
person.
sport?
No, no sport at all. No sport at all. I'm just
Okay.
it makes me tired watching them run around the field or just
I
run
feel
on
that
the
way when
track.
I see people
I
dancing. I feel
feel
that way when I see
tired.
people dancing. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
feel
Okay.
tired by myself. So yeah, I'm not into any sports, but I do know that like at least when I was growing up too, it used to be a big deal. Everybody used to talk about it. They used to make
Yeah.
like they usually make songs about it too. So like
Yeah.
they have that going on for
Yeah.
them. Yeah, is it getting someone like Shakira or something like that? I know Shakira was the person that maybe did the one that I remember. Shakira and
Uh-huh.
Pitbull or something like that. I don't know.
No, that
So
was after. That was
that
afterwards.
was after that.
So I think that was. I think she still had one. I think she had one before. I'm not
Assuming she
sure.
had one for Brazil or something like that.
I think so. I think she had something before. I'm
But yeah, they
not
used to
sure.
do all that, and I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure either. I'm not sure either. And I think
Okay.
like they've just been getting bad publicity, like you said, and bad rep all through this thing. So
Yeah. So first it was Shekari and Co. Right. Then it was the issue of the beds. So they made
okay,
yes, they had this Olympic beds. I'm going to look for it and see if I can share the picture.
okay,
They had this Olympic beds. They said the beds were recycled paper, and people were people were they said it was recycled paper, and that it was supposed to only it was supposed to only be able to carry one person. So some people were like, "Oh, the Olympics, the people at the Olympics don't want any extracurricular activities between the athletes." You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying?
because that's sorry. I didn't want to say it, but you put it
No, but
perfectly.
that was
It
what
comes with
that was what they said. The people that were there, that's what they said. And then the beds are very small, then they are brown, and it can only carry someone of a certain weight.
mm,
So bigger, like maybe like a sumo wrestler. They're like,
mhm.
okay, where are we supposed to sleep if this is the
Right,
bed that you have?
right,
Right.
right.
And then there was also the issue of there was an athlete that was, I think he tweeted, he was like, so if you bed wet, how do you bed wet peacefully on a paper bed? So there was just, people were just making fun of the beds. But I was like, after the whole Olympic blah, 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 what are they going to do with real beds? So if they find a way to fashion beds that can be recycled into something else afterwards, what do we have to lose? Okay, so let's move on to Simone and what's going on,
So you have to
right?
explain this to me because me,
Okay,
I'm not into sports, so I don't really
so
know.
Simone, the gymnast, who
Okay.
everyone talks about, we call the
Oh,
GOAT.
the lady. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this Olympics, this Olympics, she did one of her routines and she kind of stumbled. I don't know if I should call it stumble. She didn't land the way she would normally land. And she does all these kinds of complex routines. So this particular routine, she didn't land the way she was supposed to land. And then there were some other issues going on. Anyway, she pulled out and said she was pulling out for her mental health and for a medical reason, but coming down to mental health, right?
Okay.
And then she had to leave the rest of her team, but they got silver medals, and I think Russia won.
Okay.
And if only Liz was watching, she would understand. When they said
She
Russia won,
won.
I was like, of course, Russia won. I mean, she would get why I would say because while we, worry about how we train our athletes, their mental health, and all of that, Russia doesn't give
They don't care. They don't care.
about any of that. Go there, do your job, and come home with your gold.
They don't.
You know. And then there was also the case of a Ugandan athlete who didn't want to go back to Uganda. I felt bad.
The
I
Nigerian
felt
parents should check
bad.
themselves. They should do a head count.
Are
They
they
should do an
complete?
head
They should
count.
do
Are
it.
they complete though? Are they complete?
Oh my God. So I kind of felt bad when I heard, but he has gone home now. But at first, I think they were looking for him or something at a point.
Oh man,
I think he took off. I don't know how they found him again,
that is that is something.
but he took off at some point. But anyway, they're back. They're back home. For them to even be back home, that means I don't know what happened. But anyway, so that all of all of that be going on. So the real issue, the real question I wanted to ask is, I love it how Naomi was able to say, you know what, I'm not doing interviews because my mental health. I love it that Simone is able to say, I'm not doing, I want to pull out because of, my mental health and maybe any other medical issue. Do you think that if you're watching, guys, don't forget to like and drop a comment, say hello, ask a question. What do you guys want to hear today? Let us know. Um, do you think there's a possibility that, do you think we're setting a precedent that's unsafe in the sense that, are we making it easier for people to give up or not tough it out when it comes to, there are some things in life that are just tough. You just have to go through the toughness. That's
Right,
how it is.
right,
And of course, mental health is 100, very important.
right,
But do you think, because I can't really see, there's no, of course, there's no referee for this. There's no one telling anyone, this is not a time for that. This is the time to tough it out. There's no one telling anybody, this is not a time to tough it out. This is time for mental health so I'm kind of thinking, is this kind of laying the groundwork for young people? I mean, younger people, like young teens, to give up easily or just say because of my mental health, I'm not doing this? What do you think?
Um. So for this thing that I said, I'm not angry again. I'm calm down now. Calm.
Oh,
I'm calm because this is super important issue. So I believe that the way things have been going, like this is not just new. The issue of
mm-hmm.
mental health being brought up and making it feel like, oh, who can and who will make the cut and who is able to give more than 100%, even at your own detriment.
Mm,
So I think this thing has been going on for a long time because like you say, like even if it's just to throw javelin, and I was just joking earlier, maybe I'm not, but in the sense of that, like the pressure alone is enough to put anybody down,
mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it's part of the job description. The only reason why I believe why doctors get trained for a long time, and it takes up to like 10 years for you to actually even start to practice, is just that you
Mm,
need to be part of the system. You need to be so entwined in the system that you know how to handle pressure, you know how to handle people being behind you when you work. Because if not, the time is gonna come where you're gonna have someone's life in your hands. And how do you handle that? How do
how
you
you
deal
handle
with it?
the pressure?
So exactly. So it's an interesting situation because like mental health is 100% an issue across the board, across the board. And there's a thing I used to tell like older folks where like as an immigrant we believe that first of all I think like the issue of mental health is not spoken about enough in the immigrant
Immigrant
society.
community.
Yeah, and which of course it won't be because we believe more in the spiritual and we believe more in the supernatural, in which also as a Christian I believe everything in itself is supernatural, but there is a natural effect of the supernatural. In the
Mm,
olden days, the natural effect of supernatural is another level of the supernatural, is the manifestation of supernatural. In
mm.
these days,
Preach
the
it, Jem.
manifestation it has been preaching. I'm
Preach it,
preaching.
Jem.
I
Preach
preach.
it,
I
preach.
preach. The
Correct.
manifestation of supernatural in now is that it attacks the mental health. Because like
Mm,
physical health, like okay, like that's fine. You can't go to work for a couple of days. That's okay. But this the powers that be and the things that be around us has also evolved with the way we too have evolved to the extent that
mm,
they understand that to attack your health is not just that's like okay, all right, you attack my health, that's fine. But if they attack your mental health, you it's worse because like you look okay. That's how like people like look okay one day and they're smiling, and the next day they do something bad to themselves or like what they're doing to themselves indoors and nobody knows about it. That is the power of mental health. It is very important that like and obviously it's coming up now, and it seems like now the pendulum is swinging to the other side in terms of the conversation.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
But it's important, but I believe that okay. In summary, so I don't want to go too much. Is that you should know yourself,
Mm,
and work with yourself. Me myself, I will honestly work to the detriment of my mental health for two reasons.
mm,
Number one, because not that I can take it, but I've built capacity over time. And obviously, I still have situations that try me and test me, but I do see those situations as a way to kind of jump over them. And number
okay.
two, if I take a break from something, I probably won't go
That's
back
it.
again. So I
Mm,
know myself that if I can give up this time, if I
mm.
don't if I don't post like
That's me too.
if I don't post like ever since I've started posting
That's
on my
me
social
too.
media, if I don't post on Thursday and Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do it because I've tried in the past and that's just the way I work. If I don't do it then and now, I'm not gonna do it because I'm a procrastinator. I know myself very well. I'm not gonna do it. So even when I had a lot on my plate, I would rather put
Mm-hmm.
and this says something else about like the way content is being consumed and things like that. But I would rather put out a bad content for consistency than not put out any content at all.
Mm,
Because once I break
I
consistency
see. Yeah.
for me, that's it. I'm done. Don't even expect that thing from me ever again.
Hmm. I
So
feel
that's
you.
why that's why for me it seems like I gotta go hard. I can't stop. But everybody doesn't work like that. So if you
And
know
not everyone is
yourself,
the same.
exactly, if you know yourself and you're true to yourself, just
Yeah.
walk with yourself like that. And I think
Mhm.
that's the way. But I do think the pendulum, which happens most times
Which
with
happens,
social
yeah. It would
media,
swing to and then swing and
it will
then
swing back.
but
So
at this life that we're living in, I'm not even expecting balance to be on like I've signed up on
I
all
see
of you.
this life
I've
is
told
not
Angel Gabriel
balanced.
to come and get me. You people are not all right. I'm just saying.
People I know, I agree, including myself.
Don't agree. They're coming to lift just me. There's no space for anybody else. It's just
Like
me. Okay.
is
So
that
don't agree.
is it it's not Eli, what's his name? Oh my god.
Enoch.
Enoch. Yeah, I know it sounds like I forget Enoch. What's my friend's name? Enoch.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. So, thank you for saying that. Noah. But like you said, I agree with you saying, I agree with you saying it has to be a personal thing. Everyone needs to like be able to ask themselves, like do some kind of self-review and say, where am I? And is it time for me to take a pause? But I think it largely depends on, like you said, just your own understanding of who you are. If not, you'll see your friend grinding like a mad person and you'll be trying to chase that friend. You'll be like, oh, my friend is doing this, so I need to be doing it too. Meanwhile, your friend, that's just that person's personality that's able to help them do that. You need to maybe pace yourself, or you need to collaborate with someone who can help you, cover some certain weaknesses while you focus on your strengths. Sometimes that's just how it works. Is it just me that's frozen, or are you frozen? Are you in
Right?
like one place for a long time?
No, no.
Okay, so that's where that's what I think about the whole man. So for Simone, I'm not going to lie. Even before the Olympics started, the way and she executed one crazy move before the Olympics, and people were like, "What? She executed this move? They can't believe it." Blah blah blah. They've been hyping her
Oh
for
yeah,
so long,
yeah, yeah.
and I felt like this is a lot for one person, though. And then she has this Facebook, what's it called? Facebook video, like a show. It's like a reality
Mm,
show, but on
mm.
Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
she
Like
and
the
her
red table talk and
boyfriend,
stuff.
she,
Yeah.
yeah, no, not red table, like red table
Like
talk,
that.
but
Yeah.
yes, like that. So there's been just a lot of stuff going on
Stuff
around
going on.
her,
Mm,
and I'm like, to my knowledge, like growing up, right,
mm,
when it's coming to Olympic times or competition times,
mm.
around those periods, athletes have to like, go
Recuperate, stay
into like a
indoors and things like that.
yes, they have to go into like a kind of hibernation, seclusion kind of thing and just tune in their mental. But I feel like now it's even harder for them as athletes to do that because they're celebrities too.
Yeah, you need to do PR. You need to do stuff. You need to,
Yeah, you
yeah,
probably have brand deals. You're expected to show up at things for those brand deals. And meanwhile, before you just used to be an athlete and you just
right,
focus on your craft. But now
right,
you're so many things, right?
right.
Okay. So as you asked me at the beginning of this, I am bringing on your boy J. Cole
I'm
for
angry
us
again.
to. What a year, girl.
I'm angry.
I'm bringing
But
on
go
your
on,
boy
go on.
J. Cole. So, but let's see what he said, right? What did J. Cole say? Let's see what he said. I'll be sharing my screen. Um, let's see. But just calm down. Don't you trust your guy?
No, I trust.
Trust your guy.
It's the people that I don't trust because you take
You don't
somebody's word
trust
and
me.
twist it. It's yes, it's the people in the
No,
world.
I can never do that.
Okay.
It has to make you aware that something's even pulling your strings. That's what I don't like. I don't like something pulling my strings. I want to be in full control. If I'm making this decision, it's because I'm consciously saying, yo, I want to do this, and I'm okay with the repercussions. If
Right.
social media, I don't like the repercussions. I feel like I'm wasting time. I feel like I'm allowing other people's thoughts to become my thoughts. I feel like I'm diving into other people's business. I feel like there's good from it. I feel like it's a news source. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like
Communication.
communication. I feel like there's positives of it, but the negatives I don't like. So it's like it's on me to say, let me get back control of this.
Mm, 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 mm. Okay. So back to Jessiola said, "Hope I'm not late to the party. You are so late. You are so late. You are so late. But welcome. We're glad to have you." So we were just talking about I just shared a video about J. Cole and what he was saying. Jem, what do you think?
Hmm. Actually, I've
Mm,
watched this video. I think I saw the video like the day it came out, or like a week after the day it came out.
okay.
Because number one, it doesn't do a lot of interviews, but I think the
Yeah,
lady
I know
interviewing
that.
him is special to him. Like maybe she did his first interview before he made it big or something like that. So that's why I did that
Oh,
interview. And obviously that's just a clip of the interview. I believe also later in the interview, the lady kind of um, convinced him on why he needs to have a social media presence. Why he needs a social media presence. So
mm-hmm.
social media. I don't know much about it, but I'll speak to it in the sense
You
of
don't know much
someone.
about what? You
I
don't
don't know
know
much
much
about social
about what?
media. I really do not know much about
Really?
social media. I'm very, very serious.
Okay.
My last live before my live, I was in Florida with a couple of family friends and things like that,
We
and I
have
was
to go
doing.
live, me and you, one of these days.
We should.
We should go live.
We
But,
should,
but
we
you've
should
done
go
a live
live.
with me before during the pandemic.
Oh yeah. We have
Remember?
gone live with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a couple of times even. Maybe not a couple of
Yeah,
times,
we've
like
done
twice or something like that.
maybe what like yeah, maybe like twice.
All right.
We've done
So
lives.
so I didn't know how to end the live, so I had to get someone to come help me end the live because I didn't know how to end it. So I don't know much about social media. I'm still learning about it, and now that I'm learning about it, I'm trying to stay on top of it and things like that. But in
Mm-hmm.
essence, what I'm saying is, as someone who didn't know anything about it like a year ago, but because of the content I'm trying to push and the kind of just energy I'm trying to ugh, energy I'm trying to put into the universe. Ugh, as I say that, it sounds weird. As
You
the energy
felt
I'm trying
very
to put in,
inauthentic.
I feel very inauthentic. But the kind of conversations I'm trying to have with people, that's the phrase I'm looking for. The kind of conversation I'm trying to have with people,
Mm-hmm.
if you're sent to a certain kind of people or some group of people, you
Mm-hmm.
can't reach them from a location where they're not at,
But they're not present.
where they're not
True,
present
true.
at. So, for example, if okay, we're talking about the Olympics, right? How can Michael Phelps win his own gold medal if he never entered into the water because the water is cold?
Mm,
It doesn't
mm.
work like that. If you've been sent to, and again, if your audience is not on social media, please don't go because you will embarrass yourself. You will not like it. It could be a very toxic place, just in
Mm.
terms of your own again mental health and like things that people say or do and things like that. Today I
Mhm.
saw someone that they're content creators, and then someone sent death threats to themselves, and then
Say
they
that again.
someone sent a
Like I
non-fan.
send myself, so I send myself a death threat.
Yeah, not the content creator, one of their non-fans. They didn't like what they said in one video. They've been talking
Oh,
about it for
okay.
like an entire year. So to kind of escalate the
Okay.
situation, they sent death threats to themselves. That's the non-fan, sent a death threat to themselves, and then posted it on social media that it was
It was
this.
that person.
It didn't even say it was that person, it was their fans that sent the death threat to them because of a non-fan's opinion about the content creators. I hope I was able to
Yeah,
explain that.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So they send the death threat. They now found the email of the content creators, emailed the content creators telling them that one of your fans sent me this death threat. I don't like it. This and that. Content creator dig, did detective work, got to find out that obviously this person sent the
It
death threat
was
to
a lie.
themselves, and
Wow.
they try to catch the person. The person was doing this thing. In essence, is that
People are
the
mad.
internet people
Simple. Don't say it more than just say
people
people are
are
mad.
mad. They're moving mad. So you don't have to be there.
Moving
But
mad.
it's the same way. If you've been sent to the church, you better stay in the church. Don't go outside to do anything else. If you've been sent into the world, I believe go to your club, stay in the world. If you go anywhere else, they will get you. And when they get you won't have excuse
Look
because you say,
at
who
you.
sent me? They,
Who
yeah,
said
it's them. They will get you.
you?
So if you
My
know that your
God.
audience or wherever you want to connect with is on social media, I believe you need to um engage. That's the way to engage with them, not only
Mm-hmm.
for them but for yourself. The first post I ever
Okay.
made on social media, I felt so not good, but I felt like, oh, finally I can pass the message that I just keep on my laptop. I can pass it across and have it bless someone and have it be of a blessing to someone and have it be able to collaborate with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, but I
Oh,
haven't felt it though. I haven't felt the obsession that people feel with this thing. I'm not on Twitter because I don't understand it. I don't know how to work it. So don't really get the obsession that people have with it to like check it or things like that. The only one that I know that I get is in terms of likes. Like, are people liking this my post? And maybe that's
mm.
like a bad part of it. Is that people liking this my post? Is this post doing well? Oh no, this person said kind of this. Is this
Hi, Joy. Mm-hmm.
hi sister Joy? Is this oh I the other sister Joy?
I know it's a
um,
joy. It's a joy. It's a joy
it's a
versus
joy
joy thing. There's
fest.
a joy
I
versus joy
am
thing going
joy,
on now.
joy. Maybe Mr. Joy.
Focus. Really?
So, all right, sorry. So you said
Okay.
focus. That's it. So yeah, that's what I feel about it. It's apart from the only toxic part of social media that that I've personally felt, and I think that what J. Cole is trying to say is that like you can easily get drawn into the extent where like you wake up, you haven't even prayed, you haven't said hi to your significant other, and the first thing you're doing is you're on social media. Like and then you see something that ruins your day and then that takes you all throughout the day and then
Yeah.
before you sleep again you check your social media and something makes you sad again and that's where you sleep
Yeah.
with
That's
and it's that it just keeps on going and going like that.
mhm.
So I think that's
Yeah.
what it's trying to say. And but I do think it has its pros and cons. I think more pros than cons, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's
Yeah. Okay.
but
So my
what do you think he's trying to say?
I think I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but and it's because it's happened to me before. That's
Mm,
why I think so. There are moves and there are things I've seen, right? Like I see a video, it's
mm,
still, being it's still trending in Malaysia,
mm,
but I got to see because I always follow all this like ethnic um handles like
mm.
that people majorly the way we have Cracks TV, the way we have
Oh yeah, yeah,
Ashadi
yeah,
Bella,
yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, okay.
for other countries,
Other countries,
just
yeah.
kind of because it's interesting. And then
Right.
I would see something I would trend from there, and I want to share it on my page, but I'm like, people are not sharing this kind of stuff. People that I like follow and follow me are not sharing this kind of stuff. And so I don't. And
Mm.
then 3 weeks later, someone who does
It blows
something
up, right?
like I do would share it. Not that it would even blow. I don't even care if it blows up or not.
Mm.
But somebody who is like in my line as immigrant influence would
Mm.
share it. And I'm like, see, and it would people would like it, they would react to it. And I'm like, you see,
Mm.
Vianney, you should have just done what you needed to do.
Mm.
So I said that to say while we're all talking about being authentic, we're all being authentic, everybody's talking about being original, being yourself, speak your truth. I feel like if there's any time we've never spoken our truth, is now. Because now, hear me out.
Okay.
Before, it used to be that, we're worried about what people would say, right?
Mm.
If I
Right.
speak my truth, what my mom say, if I speak my truth, what my auntie say, they might
Right.
turn me away at the next barbecue. They might give me meat that is no, it's
Right.
not
Right.
ready.
Right.
But now the trap, what's trapping our originality is now that we are using other people and what is trending as the yardstick for what we should talk about.
Mm.
If other people are not talking about it, then it's somehow unsafe
Mm.
because you know that people, keyboard warriors will come for you, blah blah blah. So you're kind of waiting,
Mm.
and at this, it's still inauthentic. That is still inauthentic,
Mm.
and I feel like, to like buttress what he said, I'm on social because social has to do with what I do, right?
Mm.
But at the same time, when I start feeling like I'm not getting new ideas,
Mm.
when I start feeling like dry, like a mental block,
Mm.
I have to get off social because I know that it's because my head is full
Mm.
of other people's ideas.
Mm. Mm.
So I don't know if what I'm saying,
So
but
yeah, this has happened to me once before, and it
mhm,
hasn't happened to me since then. So I make music and beats and stuff like that. So I consume a lot of content that has to do with content creating and videos,
mhm.
obviously.
If you're not careful,
And
you start sounding like other people that you
right,
listen to.
right, but
Mhm,
not just that, but there's a point to I guess, in the sense that I understand the last point that you made is that
mhm.
there's a point where like I don't even know what happens. Like it's just there's just like I don't know, maybe like you're taking in too much information, or like there's an overload or something, but like it just affected me in such a way that like I couldn't like make my own beats or like make my own songs. And
See,
I don't even know, maybe I was comparing myself like to some other people, which I don't think so. But
normally do.
I
Hmm.
really
But you
I
could. You
yeah,
could
but
be.
I don't. What I'm saying in essence is that I don't know. Maybe it's because it's too much information. I really do not know why. I just felt like I am consuming too much content, and that's why I can't create my own stuff. So what I did was I consume most of my content on YouTube. So I'm just like no watching anybody make beats, nothing that has to do with music. I'm just gonna watch
Just
funny
cats. Just
stuff,
watch cats videos. Hmm.
and that's what I did. And I think I did it for about a week or two, and then I got back into the
And then it
groove,
came back.
and then I just kept on watching the other stuff. So I do understand that,
See, so that's
although I
true.
don't really quite agree with the first couple of points that you made. What you're saying is that
Okay.
social media, I mean, I get it. Social media helps people to not be as authentic as they could be. That's what you're saying?
Yes, I like. It's like we stepped in. It's like we stepped out from one trap into another trap. And of course, social is important. It's necessary. I use social. We're on social right now. I love social. It works. I'm just saying, like everything else, there needs to be boundaries, and they need to be
Of course.
personal boundaries. You need to know what is too much, right?
Mm,
So I
yeah.
noticed that recently. I noticed that my phone is always on.
Mm,
It doesn't matter if I'm watching a cat video or a video of babies playing.
mm,
My phone is always on, right? There's always sound.
mm,
And for myself, I'm not even as bothered. But for my
mm,
kids, I don't like it.
mm,
I want them to be comfortable with silence.
mm, mm. And they're watching
And,
you.
and they're watching me.
Mm,
You understand? And I know how much things get transferred just by watching someone.
true.
So I had to stop.
Mm,
And so for somebody else, maybe they don't care, but for me, I'm like, just do you, but make sure it's you you're doing. Make sure it's
right.
really you. No,
Right.
so
And like I think yeah, she said like it can be an obsession, and it can be something. I think like if Jesus came in 2021 or 2020 or something like that, what he would have said instead of saying, wait, it's not Jesus, I think it was Paul or something. I said, be ye not drunk with wine wearing in excess. In this case, it will
You're
be
not
ye not be
drunken
on
with
social media.
you're not drunken with Bibi Niger, which
Maybe Nigeria,
wearing look, you're the one that
wearing in
started
excess.
quoting. You finish
I'm the one
quoting.
that started. I was the one that started it.
Mhm.
So in the sense that like it can get obsessive and it's just a thing of there's so much content out there. But
Yeah.
I believe that, and maybe people can tell the difference, maybe people cannot. But that one of the most important way to make it on social media is to be authentic to yourself.
Mm.
The, that's what I believe. So it's what I probably wouldn't um and for a lot of the content creators like you or other people that I watch and follow, it's like it seems like that is what they do.
Mm.
The only people that don't do that are the ones that we all know are toxic, that we all know that like
Yeah.
they're being fake, like we only follow them because they are being fake. And before social media there
Who
were
are
some
those
people,
people? Okay.
just a lot of people now.
Some people have been fake even before social media. I just
That's
want
what
to
I'm about
put
to
that
say,
out
that
there.
like some
Some of
people
you have the spirit of fakeness. Just
they have some people, they have a show, or they had a show, and on their reality TV show they were being fake. It was all about being fake, but we enjoyed watching them being fake.
oh, okay, 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 okay,
Their name
okay.
rhymes with Malaysia, and
Okay. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so it's
Okay.
a sense of like, you know, it's already been there before.
Malaysia. Oh my God.
It's already
Okay.
been there
So,
before. It's just on social media now.
yeah,
Everybody can have their own live show and their own lives show, and just
yeah,
make it into something. But I believe the authenticity is the core part of I believe to make it. But another thing is also
yeah.
that like if you want to trend, you have to speak about what is trending.
Mm,
If you it's just it's the way social media works. But
yeah.
I think we spoke about this. The only way to cheat that I found is speak about whatever is trending from your own perspective.
Perspective. Yeah, true, true. You're right. You're right. So let me look at because so Jesse said, "Hope I'm not late to the party." Joy O is giving us a shout. Joy O two is giving us a hi. Joy is saying, "I agree. It can become an obsession." I agree as well. Okay, so I wanted to just share this as a fun, just a fun share. So there's this dad, right? He's on social,
Mhm.
and this comes to authenticity because if everyone loves his page. I'm not even sure he lives in the US. I don't think he lives in the US.
Is this out to
There are a
that?
lot of no, no. I know how to that.
You know how to that?
So
Oh,
I know how to that. So this guy, how he started his page and sharing what he does is that when he's with the baby, they have two kids. So when he's with the kid at home, because he works out of the house, I think he's a graphic designer or something.
mhm,
His wife from work would send him a message saying like, "What's going on with the baby?" You know how
mhm,
us women would like check up on the baby and say, "What's happening with the baby? Is the baby okay?"
mhm.
And then he would Photoshop the baby into some kind of precarious situation
Patient.
and send it to her. And I'm going to share my screen to show you just a few of those shots. But of course, his handle is on it just to make sure that he gets credit. So shout out to An Adventure with Dad. He's hilarious. I'm not even going to lie to you. He's just hilarious.
That's at the best. The good ones.
Yeah.
What?
Can you see?
Yeah, it's the kid
Yes,
in the
inside the
washing
washing
machine.
machine, and he is holding, the laundry detergent, and he's like, he's looking. Of course, if you were a mom and you didn't know who he was, you'd be worried, like, what,
What is going on
what
here?
is going on here?
Oh my
That's
god, that's so
that's like
crazy.
yeah. So of course, and it all boils down to us talking about authenticity and everything because
Mhm.
nobody else was doing this. This was an authentic thing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's
If
authentic to him. If it's a graphic designer, then you obviously be able
exactly,
to do
he's
this.
authentic to him because it came from a real life thing that was happening with him. This is an this
Curse words.
So imagine your spouse sending you a picture of this of him teaching, supposedly teaching your child curse
Out of
words.
curse.
So this is another one.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
no,
And you know the people that love to follow him, they're moms. It's actually
no.
moms that are his biggest followers.
I will have an heart attack. I love this though. Oh Jesus Christ! Stop it. No, no, why?
Oh my God. Yes, I know. So
You want to know the funny thing is, some people will see this now, they
but
will actually think like it's real, and like
yes,
they will start like, "Oh, this is why we cannot leave men
yes.
alone," and
Hmm.
this. You shouldn't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. But and I know he wasn't really on social when he started doing what he's doing. He wasn't
Mm,
really a social media kind of person.
mm,
If he was really into social, he probably wouldn't have started it
mm,
because he would be thinking then based on what is trending, right? He
mm.
wouldn't do his own thing. That's
Right.
what I mean by sometimes you can go so deep into something that it blocks you know, you
Your
have blind spots. You can't see
exactly
anything else.
right. This the social thing is it's very I know it's super controversial. It's
It
something that
shouldn't
like
even be. It
I
shouldn't
mean
be.
it is because like you have access to you this is what I think social media is as of currently is sitting in your house, but outside the door there is currently like 7 billion people just chattering about and you
Yes.
can hear all their
Mhm.
voices. There's literally anything that you can just Google it and like you find someone that agrees with whatever messed up thing you're thinking about.
Whatever.
You know. So
Whatever.
it's made the world a global village, but then in essence that like
It's also
do you want to live in this village? Do you really yeah, it's made it like that. Do you really want to
it's just
live
like
in
if
this?
you're married or you're dating, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
like hyper if you're a normal person, you're not
Mm-hmm.
in a polyamorous relationship, you're not in a Facebook open relationship. If you're
Oh boy.
normal, right?
Oh boy.
Feel free
Right.
to come for me. If you're a normal person, you see that I'm in the mood. Um, once you like, how would I put it? Once you're like into someone else, you
Mm.
have like laser focus on that
Right.
person.
Right.
If you guys
Right.
break up, or that person says, I'm no longer doing blah blah blah, and they walk away,
Mm.
then you will realize that, oh, there's so many fishes in the ocean, right? But
Mm.
while you're still with that person, most likely you're not really because there's tunnel vision going
Mm.
on,
True. True.
and
True. True. True.
that's how social is.
I
But
think it
if
is.
you are young, you're supposed to be creative. I really believe that. I believe that this in our DNA to create, and we have a source that gives us ideas.
Right.
As long as ideas are coming in,
Right.
I feel like it's unfair to intentionally stem them, and that's what
Exactly.
happens.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I personally I try to use social media for or like content or whatever for just a means of inspiration. Just get in, get it, and get out
And get
as
out.
soon as possible. I try my as much as possible to not involve myself in discussions that I don't know too much about, or not necessarily discussions that are going to be controversial or whatever. Because also, again, in my 2 years of my social media journey and being in depth with it, I've learned that like you have to you have to have an opinion. It doesn't have to
Mm,
be a popular opinion, but it's just like especially with things that really matter to you,
yeah.
don't be scared to talk about it. Don't be scared to go for it. Don't be scared to
Hmm.
address those issues because they really matter to you and you don't know who else you might be touching or helping if you share those ideas. Of course, filter those ideas. It's very, very important. Filter the ideas. Make sure that it's not just entering and like you're just vomiting it out. Don't do that. Don't let's do that. But if it's something that really is really close to your heart and you filter it, then you kind of need to. Um, it's a means of expression and inspiration. Social media is a means of expression and inspiration for me. That's it. That's my take on
Okay.
social media. Me personally.
Okay, so if you're watching, just drop a comment. Let us know what you think about today's episode as we round up. So I wasn't on for 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks I wasn't on, and I put out, of course, I put out notices that I was going to be absent, and I'm very, to anyone who was like saddy daddy because you didn't see us on Tuesday. So sorry about that, but it had to happen. In the meantime, thank you, Jem, for showing up today. I love it when you bring your energy to the Daffy show.
Thank you.
Next week, we are going to be on again. We're going to be talking about some other topics that are trending, or if not trending, that we think are important. I hope
Yes.
everyone's doing well, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week and
Wonderful
weekend.
weekend. Bye bye.
What do you have to say, Jem, before we go?
What I have to say is that nobody asks me why I'm angry, which
Okay,
is
why are you
even make
angry?
me angry. No, it's too late now. It's too late now. The show are finished. There's no time to talk about it again.
Why are you angry?
Nobody
Let's
asks
use
me
that
why
one
I'm
to
angry.
close. Why are
No,
you
no,
angry?
it's okay. No, I'm fine, yo. I'm fine, yo. I'm fine, yeah. I'm fine. It's all right. It's okay.
Say
All I
it
want to
now.
say,
Why are you angry? You want me to kill chicken for you?
wait, keep chicken from just send it to me. No, I don't like chicken. Make it fish. I love fish.
They will demonetize this video.
Why?
To talk about harming
Welcome to
animals.
welcome to our mukbang video. It's a
Harming
mukbang video.
animals.
It's a mukbang
Okay.
video. Ooh, we should do a mukbang video. How about that? Of like
Oh,
Nigerian
yeah. What
food.
is I've never really understood what that is. What is that?
Oh, mukbang is just you just eat. It's just you just eating.
Okay, yeah, so that's what they're talking about because every time they say a mukbang, they're always eating something.
Yeah,
So I'm
they're
like,
always
is it the food that's called mukbang or is it the action?
it's the action. Yeah, I think you know this. You were in Korea. It's like I don't want to say Korean. It's an
Yeah,
Asian thing.
but it's Asian, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure. Like, they always say mukbang, but they're just eating all kinds of things. So I'm like,
yeah. It's
okay,
like I think
not
that's what it
sure.
is. Like it's just like cooking show. It's like an eating show, which is whatever.
Yeah, no, because you live far away from me, we
Uh
would
huh.
have done like a kind of mukbang, but it would be tasting my favorite small chops,
Your
my
favorite
favorite
small
brand of
chop.
small chops. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even want to do that. You have some like
You don't like small
interesting.
chops?
No, because like you've traveled around the world, so like you have some interesting taste in small
No, no,
chops.
no. I'm
And I
talking
know.
about our own small chops, our
Oh,
own.
our own small chops. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds nice.
Okay. All right. Oh, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for turning up this Tuesday. Gem, give us a gem blessing to take with
Gem
us.
blessing is join us next week because next week is gonna even be a better blessing than this week. You know,
Okay.
that's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Gem signing
Thanks.
out.
And thank you very much. Signing out. Good night, everyone. Good
Good night,
night.
everyone.